After that delightful performance, now on to matters. I cordially invite the Honorable Chief Guest, Secretary to the Ministry of Defense and Urban Development, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Major General Milinda Peiris, Vice Chancellor of General Sir John Kotalawala Defense University, and the Chair of the 2012 Symposium, Mr. W.M. Amaradasa, to please take their seats on stage. To deliver the welcome address, I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor to take the podium.
Distinguished members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to deliver the welcome and introductory address of the KDU Symposium 2012. First, it is a great honor for me to welcome our chief guest and the keynote speaker, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Secretary to the Ministry of Defense and Urban Development, and the Chairman of Board of Management, KDU. So I am grateful to you for accepting our invitation and for being here to grace this occasion of this inaugural ceremony of the two-day KDU International Symposium. Next, I warmly welcome Honorable Vasantha Senanayake, Member of Parliament, Your Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, the Chief of Defense Staff, Commander of the Army, Commander of the Navy, Commander of the Air Force, Chairman, University Grant Commission, Honorable Steve Mahare, Vice Chancellor, University of Massey, New Zealand, Vice Chancellors, distinguished guests, academics from other universities, and the renowned professors, scholars, and very eminent personalities representing China, India, Indonesia, Maldives, New Zealand, Pakistan, and USA. And I warmly welcome all the distinguished invitees, defense attaches, defense advisors, heads of foreign delegations, presenters, and participants whose contribution will be of immense value for the success of KDU Symposium 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, we consider that the theme of this symposium, ensuring national security through reconciliation and sustainable development, is highly pertinent for intellectual pursuit at the present juncture of our country to ensure its future stability as a nation. And it is equally relevant to any country with national security concerns. Considering the Sri Lankan context, it is clear that our international security cannot be fully ensured without ensuring reconciliation and harmony between the communities of people that had been artificially torn apart by the 30-year-long conflict, which only fostered mutual suspicion, distrust, and hatred among the ethnic communities. Hence, Sri Lanka should invariably focus attention on reconciliatory measures to ensure harmonious coexistence among the composite parties of the Sri Lankan nation, Tamils, Muslims, Burghers, Malays, and Sinhalese. And I believe that once achieved, such reconciliation should be cemented and consolidated through constitutional means, a permanent need for maintaining national security. Also, the national security of the country like ours cannot be ensured without the concerted effort of individuals in different communities united in diversity to the development of the motherland. And this development should be a sustainable one, as we are living in a world where our resources are continuously depleting and consumers of the limited resources are rapidly increasing, a situation that causes both internal and external threats for a country's national security. And conversely, we cannot even imagine about development, sustainable or otherwise, without the national security of the country being strongly established. Therefore, it is patently clear that in our context, the three concepts, national security, reconciliation, and sustainable development, are inextricably interconnected, and one cannot realize without the other. So I firmly believe that the deliberations at this symposium will broaden our horizons on these sometimes elusive phenomena, on measures to ensure their realization, and on possible challenges that we have to face therein, in relation to diverse domains. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with this expectation that we organized several discipline-specific plenary sessions on defense, engineering, medicine, law, management, social sciences, and humanities. A multifaceted approach to encompass all possible areas of knowledge for ensuring national security of the country. The technical sessions coming under these 5 plenary sessions will provide an opportunity for micro-level research presentations relevant to several sub-themes. And the overall outcome of this symposium would give a clear vision to ensure the much-needed national security for our country, while disseminating very important knowledge on national security concerns that would be useful for any other country in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, on a retrospective note, our post-independent era unfolds 3 major events that seriously threaten our national security. The growth of the youth unrest in 1960s into 1971, insurgency and its recurrence in the late 80s, and the growth of ethnic dissatisfaction of the Tamil minority into a separatist war which almost devastated our country for more than 30 years. Fortunately, under the unmatched and far-sighted leadership of His Excellency the President, Mahinda Rajapaksa, and the Secretary to the Ministry of Defense and Urban Development, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who happens to be our keynote speaker today, the country has managed to pull itself back from the disastrous situation, and today we heave a sigh of relief as a nation that is aspiring to become the wonder of Asia. However, despite the present stability of national defense, the question remains whether we are out of danger and fully secure as a nation. I am of the opinion that any country would be secure to the extent that it is vigilant to possible internal and external threats to its national security, and to the extent to which it could identify potential threats and take preventive and proactive measures to curb such threats. History teaches us that our responses to national security threats in the post-independence scenario had generally been reactive, and we had not seriously thought of the proactive and sustainable projects to ensure our national security. We had complacently fallen into dormancy and taken things for granted, while breeding grounds for destructive and disruptive elements continue to prevail. Internal threats and rather invisible external threats kept on gathering momentum occasionally, surfaced in the form of civil disturbances, racial riots, organized bank robberies, assassination of leaders, and so on, and finally culminated in major disruptions. Understandably, the present scenario is much more complex. Threats to our national security today have no geographical limits. They operate locally, abroad, and even in the cyberspace. Separatist ideologies and activities are pursuing different strategies to achieve their ulterior motives. Today we are ready to take a new path. Like the legendary phoenix rising from the ashes, the Sri Lanka is ready to fly again into a future that every individual of the country, irrespective of the differences, can be proud of. It is for this effort that General Sergeant Kothala Defence University is doing its utmost to extend its fullest support. In conclusion, let me once again very warmly welcome all the dignitaries, intellectuals, and participants, foreign and local, with that deliberations of the symposium would positively contribute for the well-being of our beloved motherland and for the betterment of mankind through the dissemination of important knowledge to produce a peaceful and a secure world in which the law and order prevails. Thank you.